walking back home from Berghain and I'm exhausted. My back is in so much pain, first of all, and I have to walk 35 minutes back. And I got there at like 10. 10 is like when it opens on Friday. And I left at 4. And it was, you might say it's only 6 hours, and it is. I don't know how people do this for like more than 10 hours because people stay there for days. But 6 hours is enough for me, and I went to a rave like a couple days ago too. So I don't know how I'm handling all of this. And I have to do my itinerary for tomorrow, so I have to wake up at like a decent amount of time. So I can't even sleep in, and I'm tired and exhausted. But maybe tomorrow I'm gonna talk about like my experience and like what I said and like other stuff like that, like the important stuff, because right now I can't really talk about them because I'm really tired. But this is a proof that I actually made it. See, if you zoom in, it says July 3rd. Today's the day. And only Panorama Bar was open because only Panorama Bar is open on Fridays. But I don't think I'm gonna go back low-key because it's 22 euros for the entrance, and also it's so tiring. So I feel like I went for the experience, and like the experience was very necessary. Now I'm very cool and I loved it. Saying like, oh, like Europe is so hot right now, like are you being careful, are you staying indoors? It's so cold. Like how are you not in Europe and saying that Europe is cold, Europe is hot? Like it's really cold. Look at this. This is my outfit that I wore, and I can't even unbutton it because it's too cold. So basically I wanted like a very like fetish kind of wear, and I just couldn't find anything like that near the mall that was around my house. So I just improvised, and I basically bought this like it's like a bikini top basically from Primark or Primark or whatever, and that was €2 or £2. I can't even. Anyways, £2 for the top, and then for the shorts, it was biker shorts, and I got it from the kids section, and it was kids size like 11 to 12, and it fit me, and I got it for £4. So it was so cheap, and it was 2 pairs. And then this is like what I always wear as kind of like a jacket, but clearly it's not doing its job because it's still letting me be cold. But that was my outfit, and then I have my sandals on, and I'm so shocked that they let me in with open toe shoes, because I thought like my shoes were supposed to be the one that was gonna get me caught. But no, I got in. And I was gonna buy socks last minute just so that you don't see like my open toe, but a good thing that I didn't buy socks because I don't wear socks anyways. This video is gonna be my experience at Berghain, and clearly you can see that I got in on Friday, and I still have this thing on because I just don't want to take it off. And I didn't know this before I went there, but I for some reason thought Berghain was gonna be open every day, but it's not open every day. It's open on a Friday, and then it's gonna close like on the Saturday morning, and then it's gonna be opening again on Saturday night up until like Monday morning. So people go for like more than 24 hours. I went on Friday just to see like how it's like, because on Friday I heard only like the bar area is open, and that's okay with me because I just didn't want to like go on Saturday and get rejected and then go on Sunday again and then also get rejected, and I've only tried twice if that's the case. So I really wanted to make sure that I tried like all 3 times that I was there, and I got in obviously. And this is kind of like tips on how I got in. So basically before I even went there, I was just memorizing like all the DJs and like live sets they were playing that night. And like I met like a couple people like inside the club, and we were all talking about how we were practicing like the names of the DJs, so that like when they ask you a question you're not caught off guard. And I was so fortunate enough to even be asked a question because I went like pretty early. Like I went like as soon as it opened at 10 p.m. and there were people, like a couple people in front of me, like maybe like 10 people, and a lot of them got turned away. I would say like 60% of the people got turned away, and these people did not even get asked a question. Like the bouncer, like there were like multiples of them. I like for some reason thought that was gonna be one bouncer named Sven. He's like the most like infamous one. But there was this like lady bouncer, she was in like a tracksuit, and there were like 2 other people that's kind of like her backup. So like if she's kind of hesitant and thinking like, oh, like should she like let you in, she can ask like the other bouncers and they can agree with her and stuff. So the first question that she asked me was like actually in German. For some reason, like she asked me in German, and I think she was asking like how many of you are there, and like I went alone, so I said like just me in English. And then she said, what do you want to see tonight? So I said like the names of the DJs, and she was actually kind of satisfied because she didn't think like I was gonna know like the names of the DJs. But this is like the moment I've been practicing for like the weekend. And after that, she asked me for my age, and I saw this somewhere that if you're older you have more chances of getting in. So I lied and said my age was like way older than I actually am, because the people in front of me said they were like a certain age, and they didn't get asked an ID like at the door. So I just thought, even if I lie about it, like how are they gonna know? So I lied about my age. I got in. She said have fun, and then I got in. And the moment you get in the door, that's when they like check the inside of your bag and like your belongings and stuff. And that's also when they check your ID, so it's like a different person doing it. I made sure to not lie about it like too obviously. Like I didn't say I was like 30 or anything, because if I did, they would be like, oh, like she's lying because she's not 30. But I got in, and at first it was actually kind of awkward. I don't know what I was expecting, but it was not that. Like, but all the clubs are kind of awkward like when you are the first person to go in anyways. So it was fine. And then we discovered this like area that actually did like the bars and stuff, and like the drinks were like pretty normally like priced too. I think like this like vodka lime like drink was it was actually less than 10 euros, which is not that bad. I think that's about like 15 Canadian dollars, which is not that bad too, because like I would go to like a Canadian club and they would be asking $11 for a shot this small like that. So for a Berghain club, I think it's like pretty nice that they did that. Yeah. And then the music was kind of like a mix between like house music and like techno music, and the lasers were kind of like not as fancy as I thought it was gonna be. I don't know, it's just like I went to a rave like 5 days before I went to Berghain, so obviously I was used to something that was very like over the top, but that's a rave and this is a club, so I should not have expected that. But it's just like a nice like holographic kind of like a light, and like a lot of like reds and like blues, and like the dance floor was kind of like getting crowded around 1 a.m. in the morning, and that's when everybody started showing up. And a lot of people were really friendly. I don't know why, but I thought everybody was gonna be like really just like minding their own business, and everybody was just like really friendly, and they were all talking, and obviously in German, so I didn't understand anything. But yeah, like people were nice. And you cannot take pictures inside the club. The moment you get in, they put stickers on all 4 of your cameras. So I have back cameras, and then I have like the front camera. They put stickers in like all of them. I actually took off the sticker from my front camera and just took a selfie inside the club when I was in the bathroom, but it doesn't matter because it's like it doesn't like capture the inside of like the interior of the club. So yeah, I got there at 10 is when I kind of got in, and then I got out at 4. And I was gonna leave like a bit earlier because I was like really tired that day, because that was the day that I actually first got to Germany, like to Berlin, and something happened with my Flixbus because it was delayed and I just couldn't get on the connecting one. So I had to basically go on this one train that was going straight to Berlin, but it was like 300 euros. And I was trying to like, you know, just go in the train because it's not my fault that the train got delayed. And the lady was like, oh, this is the wrong ticket. I'm just like, yeah, like I already know that it's a Flixbus ticket, but I'm still trying to play it dumb and say, oh, no, this is like the train to Berlin. Like, you know, we're going to Berlin, right? And then she's like, no, you have to buy, like, you're on the wrong train. Like, you have to buy this, like, train ticket. Unless, if you don't want to do that, you have to get off. And I said something like, can I just get a penalty, though? Because penalty is, like, 60 euros if you don't pay for the ticket. And she's like, no, you can't get a penalty. I was just going to get a penalty and not pay at all. But anyways, yeah, so like I was basically kind of like making it seem like I was getting the ticket, so she like saw me like kind of like on the verge of buying, like paying for it, so she left, and then she never returned again, so I never paid. But also I wasn't supposed to because I already paid online for the Flix train, and it's not my fault. So I basically had to like fill out a form to get a refund from Flix train, and that's not gonna even come into my bank account until later on this week. So I'm just wasting money right now. Oh yeah, and then this is like where it gets worse. So like leading up to getting into Berghain moment, it's like my luck was just like I was using all my luck. And so like the moment I got off the train, like I took the subway or whatever, and I was trying to get into the hostel, and I just couldn't see any like front desks or anything like that, because I've been to other hostels before and they always have somebody that's like at the front like helping you and checking you in. And this one didn't have anything. It was just like some abandoned building it was kind of like a junky area too. It was kind of dangerous. And yeah, like I was trying to like find a person, and I didn't have Wi-Fi like until this moment, so I didn't see like any emails saying like, oh, this is your code, this is what you have to use to like check into to your room, and I didn't see that. So I just like knocked on the door like a million times, and somebody finally let me in. So I'm just like, where's the person to check me in? And they were like, oh, like they're never here. So like, how do you sleep here? Like, how do you stay here in general? Like, where's my room? Well, like he let me in, and then like I got like a bunch of code to get into the building. So like, worst case scenario, I can just sleep on the couch. But then like they were saying like check the email, and I did after I connected to the Wi-Fi, and I was able to get in. But like that place smelled so dank. Like it smelled so bad. I don't know. It's just like usually like they're okay, and like this is my first time staying at like a mixed like hostel. Like before I've only like always stayed in like a girls hostel, and girls hostel like don't smell at all. And obviously nobody had like hand sanitizers or like Febreze or anything. Well, I don't carry any of that either, but nobody had it too. Yeah, but it was cold, so like the smell was not as bad as if it was hot outside, because like I don't know, with something like like when it's hot outside, like it just gets like really smelly and just like so humid and for no reason. But it was like a 6 people dorm, so it was not that bad. And we didn't even have like all 6 people. We had like maybe like 4 or 5. So yeah, like even if you book like a hostel, it's not guaranteed that there's gonna be like everyone. After I got into Berghain, I didn't even like really bother trying to go to any other clubs that was on my list, because I was just so tired like that. And I also had to do all the, you know, touristy places. So basically like Berghain was the only club that I went to when I was staying in Germany. And the next day was my second day, and I was just like chilling in my hostel, and this girl was trying to go to Berghain too. And this girl was like young, like, you know, like, and you could clearly tell that she was young, and she was not gonna lie about her age or anything. And she didn't get in, and I felt so bad because she was so prepared. But also I was prepared too. Like I even bought a whole new outfit. My outfit was very simple actually, but everybody's outfit was not as like extreme as I thought it was gonna be. Maybe because I went on a Friday, and Friday it's only open in like one like floor, versus like Saturday and like Sunday is when like all 3 floors are open, and like you have like the play area and stuff. But like for Friday, everybody was just in like their t-shirts, and like the women were just in their like normal like going out top. So what I wore was, I got this like a bikini top from Primark for £2 when I was still in the UK. So that was really cheap. And I also got this like kids shorts for like £3. It was so cheap. It was like kids aged like 11 to 12, and that was basically my outfit, like a top and a bottom. And also when I was in Germany, it was so cold, so I had to get another sweater from Primark. And I shop children's clothes because I just actually love children's clothes. And I was just minding my own business in my really nice, really cheap, like €7 like Berlin sweater, and I just see this little kid wearing the same sweater as me, and this kid is like a 7-year-old boy. So I was twinning with a 7-year-old boy, and that was so embarrassing, so I had to leave. But yeah, I keep thinking like, oh, if I went on Saturday or Sunday, I would have had a different experience. I would have actually thought it was like a really big deal. But because I went on a Friday and I wanted to use like all my chances, I just didn't want to go again because it was kind of expensive. It was £22 like at the door, sorry, €22 at the door, and you have to also pay for your drink and stuff too. So like in total, because I also drank something else before I went in total I would say I spent around like 35. Yeah, so like I bought this like really like small like vodka, like kind of like a shot kind of like size, and then I also bought a Capri Sun, and I was just mixing it together right outside the club. But I was hiding behind the bushes because apparently like they see people before they even get in. So when you're staying in, like, you can't even go on your phone, you can't talk to anybody, you just have to just basically mind your own business and just be ready for them to call on you. And yeah, like I was actually really nervous, but I don't know why, but I kind of thought I was gonna get in because I was so prepared, and just like how the timing was lined up like that, so I had multiple chances of getting in too. Yeah.